In 1999, the Australian government passed the EPBC Act. The Act's purpose was, and still is today, to provide legal framework to protect and to manage nationally important flora and fauna. The Act required every species listed as threatened to have a recovery plan. However, this was scrapped in 2007 due to funding. So what is a recovery plan? Well, it is a document that clearly sets out the research and management actions needed to stop the decline of a species. In 2011, it was documented that $16.9 million had been invested in developing over 600 management plans for over 850 species. So, was this money well spent? And if it was well spent, why did they scrap the policy saying that every threatened species needed a management plan? Well, the answer to that is uncertainty. There was uncertainty around management plans within the conservation community. In 2009, Peter Garrett emulated this uncertainty by urging governments to change the approach of management plans to a landscape approach instead of a single species approach. So let's go back to the basics for a little bit here. What do we know about management plans? What are the pros of management plans? Well, the positive of management plan is that it allows us to prevent extinction. We do this by stabilising species populations. We intervene when the population is at a very low point and stop it from further decline to extinction, with the goal of recovery, but we don't always get recovery. However, there are weaknesses. Watson et al. In 2011 explored the idea of a bias involved in which species are listed as threatened under the EPBC Act. They found that vertebrates were disproportionately listed. So not only is there uncertainty if management plans work, there's uncertainty of which species we're giving management plans to as well. Perhaps the biggest weakness of them all, though, is that there is no criteria for a management plan. There's no criteria as to evaluate the effectiveness of said plan. So Watson et al. In 2011 also found that only 18% of management plans had experienced a review. So how can we justify the spending if there's no way to quantify the success of the management plan? Well, Bottrell 2011 asked that exact question, and he ran a review of management plans. He and his colleagues tested whether species who were on plans experienced a recovery significantly different to species that were threatened but didn't have a plan allocated to them. The results: management plans showed no effect on recovery. So this is only adding to the uncertainty. So Bottrell accounts this inefficiency to his resources. Whilst the budget is not in his control, or the conservationist's control, the funding suggests that a better strategy for allocating your funds and resources ought to be created. In saying that, in recent years, there seems to be a response to that conundrum, and multi-species recovery plans have become an ever popular way of using resources. It widens the scope of a single species plan and narrows the scope of a landscape plan. It is cost effective compared to the other two approaches.